So I am Sarah, this is my husband Kevin and Kaylin, and thank you for having us here today. So it started, honestly, when he was just talking about how it a lot of times goes back many years. For me, it did. Till when I first started puberty, going through cycles and having a period. It was very irregular from the very beginning. When I look back over it now, there's just many years of a lot of questions that we didn't know really what was going on. I would go months without having a cycle, and we went to several OBs and doctors here in the area that all told me that it was because I was so active in sports and you just need to be on birth control. That was the answer I got almost everywhere I went. And just something in me knew that there was something underlying causing the problems, that I didn't want to just treat the symptoms, but I wanted to figure out what it was that was going on in my body causing those. We went through this for years. I graduated college, and I all of a sudden wasn't as active as I was before, and I still wasn't having regular periods, and so that myth was debunked there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not playing sports now, and I'm still not having regular cycles. So then we started looking into it a little more. Switched to OBs numerous times and kept getting the same answers. Just to get on birth control. Ultimately, they found out that I had some fibroids in my uterus, that I had 2 surgeries to have them removed. The straw that ended my reign with my last OB was I walked into a new one, and after many years of trying different things at this time, Pam and I were engaged, she kind of grabbed, I think I told you the story, she grabbed my stomach, and she was like, you just need to lose some weight if you want to have a child. And I just remember being so incredibly hurt to feel like that she was almost like, you just need to be disciplined and you would have this, not knowing that so many years we had been doing a lot of things to try to have children. So it kind of opened our eyes to say, okay, this isn't the route. Let's go to someone that can maybe help us see what's causing this underlying. We started going to a doctor in Winston who ran a lot of blood work and told us that, give me a diagnosis of PCOS. And something about that didn't quite settle with me either, because a lot of my symptoms matched that, but I didn't have a lot of the characteristics that you need for PCOS that I don't have anyway. So he started some treatment with that as well. Immediately was doing bioidentical hormone therapy. My estrogen was really high, and I wasn't producing progesterone, so he put me on a progesterone supplement. And I think the thing that over time, it was just draining. We were doing a lot of things, a lot of steps, a lot of supplements and things that we were doing, but we weren't seeing on paper any change in my hormone levels. I was actually gaining weight at the time, and I couldn't understand why that was happening. I was eating better. I cut a lot of things out nutrition-wise. Then my mom actually started going to try out health before I did, and she invited me. She said, come with me to an essential oil class that they were doing, and Miss Elise was leading it. So I was like, okay, I'll go to it. And she, at the moment, didn't know why she said her testimony that night, but she started talking in the middle of an essential oil class, which wasn't supposed to be about hormones or anything. She starts telling her story, and I related so much to her story that I literally started crying in the middle of an essential oil class. And I was like, for the first time ever, I felt like there was hope. I sat in the office of the doctor in Winston who told me that I would most likely never get pregnant, and if I did get pregnant, I may not be able to maintain the pregnancy because I didn't have progesterone. I wasn't producing progesterone. And my husband and I knew that one of our biggest desires was to have a child and to have children. We believed that God had called us to be parents, so we just believed that. And I was sitting in that essential oil class, and she starts speaking, and I was like, wait, there is hope. There's something that could be underlying that's causing this that we can actually fix. I signed up that night to come back for a consultation with Dr. Schwartz. And we sat down. He looked at some of the same blood work that I had done done at the doctor in Winston, and he had a very different take on what we could do with that. Instead of doing hormone replacement, let's attack why are your hormones the way they are? Let's figure that out. I was very high levels of estrogen, and he was telling me, you can't just take enough progesterone to counterbalance that. We got to do something with this estrogen. So immediately we started doing some additional diet things. We started the estrogen shake, yep, the estrogen cleanse and fast. Numerous times we did that. And then we did an advanced level of hormone testing, the Dutch testing, which was the dried urine test, and that really showed us, I guess, the more complex view of what the hormones are doing in the body. And so he recommended doing a liver gallbladder cleanse. We did that, and the month after we did it, we were pregnant. So that was just this past July.
We're not expecting.
No, we were not. We were expecting to do it 4 rounds, and I got through round 1, and the week after that, we found out we were pregnant. So ultimately, I just can say that I think that you were talking about it, a lot of times what we do is we are given things to treat symptoms, and well, you're not having a period, so let's give you birth control to make you have a period, when ultimately we never touch the underlying issue. And it brought such a peace to me when just the second I sat down with these two, to hear that there were solutions to the problems I was going through. And over a couple of years now, and lots of work and lots of tweaking and changing, we're at a good place. I know when I stop, he's already told me, when I stop nursing her, I've got another round of stuff to do. But I'm just so thankful for them, and just the hope that they gave me, and how they've helped me change my body.
That's awesome.